What's up, Adeayo? How are you doing today?
I'm very well, man. How you doing?
I'm great. I'm great. I'm
Good,
great.
good, good.
Yeah. So there's an ongoing conversation about Universal Music Group acquiring Mavin Records.
Yes, so that's what's
So
up.
yeah. So what does that mean to the Nigerian music industry? I mean, why did Don Jazzy sell Mavin Records?
I mean, Don Jazzy knows best why he chose to partner with Mavin's partner with UMG
UMG.
and sell the majority stake to them. But if you ask me, I think Don Jazzy think it is time to sell. It is time to partner up. And when you look at the business, how it has always progressed, how Mavin's record has evolved over the years, you would know something like this was bound to happen at some point. When they raised they raised capital twice, the first rounds of raising capital, I think they said that was mostly Nigerian investors. Then they raised there was another round of funding that international investors came in. We had Kupanda came in, and TPG also came in, right? So after such level of fund injection into the business, there was bound to be another round of funding. So those people will make their money, and those that want to move on will move on, and someone that want to sell will sell. So this was bound to happen, and it's just like, I think this is just like the perfect time for it to happen. And Mavin Record is at a position right now where they are just like they're doing amazing things, and they're attractive to the biggest companies in the world. This process before UMG acquired Mavins, the bidding process was regarded as very competitive. That means there were a lot of companies interested. When Billboard broke the news sometimes last year, they talked about how hype the South Korean venture capital and UMG were the front runners to acquire Mavins in a deal worth over $100 million. So it's just perfect timing. Right now, Mavins, they have a mouth-watering roster, like amazing artists. They have a publishing department, they have songwriters, they have producers. So it's just really the company you want to acquire. If you're UMG, the biggest music label in the world, and you're looking to tap into Afrobeats, that is the company you want to acquire. So for a company like UMG, the biggest music label in the world, if you want to tap into Afrobeats, if you want to tap into Nigerian music and the African music landscape, you want to partner up with a company that has shown track record of excellence. And Don Jazzy's Mavin Records, they have a remarkable track record of excellence, and Don Jazzy knows this. And again, as I said, it was the next round of raising fund was bound to happen. People needed to make money off their investment, right? And UMG came in and injected that funds, and we had TPG. Left, they exited the business. Kupanda became a minority shareholder, and now UMG is the majority shareholder. So it's a business that I think worked for Don Jazzy and his team. They have the talent, they have the roster, the catalog, and the business model to be able to attract a company like UMG. And Don Jazzy mentioned, while appearing on a podcast, he mentioned that if he's going to sell at all, whoever is acquiring or whoever is trying to buy must be very, very rich, which is important. I mean, UMG, the biggest music company in the world. He also said he would have to stay on as CEO, and his team, they have to stay on to continue running the company. So I think this deal works for him because he gets to retain his position as CEO. Tega gets to retain his position as COO, and they get to continue the amazing job they've been doing. So it's a deal, from how I see it, is a deal that works perfectly for Don Jazzy and his team, and also works perfectly for UMG as well. So I mean, a lot of things have been said about this deal already. A lot of experts from both the economic, the business side, and the industry side. We've had everyone say something, from Obi Asika, to the policymakers, to even venture capital experts. They've called it an amazing deal. They've called it a wonderful deal for both parties. So yeah, I don't know. There's not a lot of details around the numbers. The guess is that UMG dropped $80 million for 55% stake at a valuation of $150 million, right? So that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money, and so you have to understand that this is something that is that works for both parties, and it's just an amazing time. It's just really, really remarkable to see.
So why did Universal Music Group buy Mavin Records out of all the records?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question, right? Out of all the record labels in Nigeria, why did Universal Music choose to buy Mavin Records.
Yeah.
Maybe the number one is because Mavin Records wants to sell. Don Jazzy is open to partnering up, right? So he wants to sell. And number two, Mavin Record is the biggest record label in Nigeria. In terms of roster, in terms of success, in terms of catalog, in terms of business model, everything. I think they're the foremost record label in Nigeria. You understand? So whoever owns Mavins, whoever controls Mavins is going to have a huge say in the future of Nigerian and African music. It's going to have a huge influence in what happens in Nigerian and African music. And that's what UMG wants. They're the biggest record label in the world for a reason, because they map out opportunities and they're able to get on the ground floor of these opportunities before it takes off. You understand? So when they see Mavins and they see, okay, we want Afrobeat is the next frontier. Afrobeat seems to be the next big music wave globally. And we need to get on the ground floor of this music wave. How do we do that? We need to tap into an ecosystem, the ecosystem itself directly, and we also need to be able to get the biggest player in that ecosystem to partner with us. And that's what Mavin stands for, right? So it makes perfect sense for UMG because Afrobeat is going global, right? Afrobeat is going international, global, and they don't want to miss out on that. They want to be able to have a say in what becomes of Afrobeat internationally. And I'm saying this from a positive perspective, right? So they want to be able to have a seat. They want to be able to, have artists that will be on the front line. Right now, they have some of the biggest artists in the world. They have maybe the most commercial rapper of all time, Drake, is on their books, right? So that is the kind of business model they like to operate. They want their artists to be the flagship artists of any genre they find themselves. So partnering with Mavin strategically position them to be, at the forefront of the exportation of Nigerian and African music internationally. And now, like with Mavin's partnering with them, they can be able to not just take the music from Nigeria and take it globally. They can also position the music to become a global mainstream music. It's not just about exporting the sound anymore. It's about making the sound now a mainstream pop sound globally, with not just Nigerians making it, but even people of other nationalities borrowing from that sound, like incorporating it in their music and it becoming like a massive pop music globally. So I think for UMG, it's about getting on the ground floor of the international wave of Afrobeat, and Mavin Records position them strategically to achieve that. So I think that's why they choose to buy the biggest record label in Nigeria.
So what does this acquisition mean for Mavin Records?
Oh, it means Mavin Record is a subsidiary and part of the biggest music company in the world. It's amazing. That's what it means for them. It means they have the resources to access the biggest music markets in the world. It means they have the resources to take this business, what they're building, the amazing job they've done. It means they now have the resources to take it to a whole new level. You understand? So this is not even about being academic and try to obsess over the numbers and stuff like that. I guess eventually when the deal is closed, according to UMG, they say the third quarters when they'll file reports and the regulators would approve of the deal, then possibly the figures behind it will become public, right? But aside from all that, right, what it means for Mavins, like what it means for their business, what it means for their artists, it exposes them to unlimited opportunities. Now being part of the biggest music record label in the world, the biggest label in the world means that you can access the pipeline to promote your artists, to promote Nigerian music, to promote Afrobeats at a global scale. You imagine the playlists these guys can get on. With talents like Arasta and Rema, who are already at the forefront of exporting Afrobeat, imagine what this could mean for them. The level of access they could have, the kind of collaboration that could materialize from this, the kind of playlist they will be on, the kind of opportunities they will have, the kind of rooms they can get into, the kind of conversations they can get into. So it's even more than just the money alone. It's about the optics, the opportunities that comes with it. So for Mavins, they're not going to slow down. This positions them to even do more than they are currently doing. And that's just what it means for them. It means that they're going to go ballistic right now. They're going to do amazing things. You can expect them to start making remarkable moves that are unprecedented in the history of Nigerian music industry, at least from the business perspective. They're going to start break. I mean, they already broke records for labels already. I mean, 1 billion stream for Rema, which is unprecedented in Nigerian music industry. The first Nigerian artist to have a song cross 1 billion stream. That's a big deal. So those type of records, right? That's what they'll start chasing, and with someone like UMG backing them, they have the resources to chase such records. They have the resources to now reach out to the biggest music stars in the world and try to foster collaboration, try to get their artists in the right rooms. It's just really going to take their business from where they are right now to the level they know they can get to.
Is there going to be a negative impact on Afrobeats based on this partnership?
I don't think so. I don't see how there's possibly a negative outcome to this partnership, right? Again, as I said, a lot of experts have said a lot of things about this partnership. I mean, Olisa Adibwa, the OG, was at Arise TV News recently. He talked about it, how it's amazing. Mr. Obi Asika also commented on it. So these are people who have been there. They've been there from day one, right? So they know what is good for the industry and what is not good for the industry. So when these people say, okay, this is a good deal, then it is a good deal, right? So even when you look at it, right, like the things people would say and ascribe that might be negative, like maybe it's going to let us lose our sound, like these international labels might get our artists to start making music that are not of Nigerian essence, and they try to brand it in a way that they think will appeal to the Western world. I don't think it's going to happen, because there's already a tested, I don't call it a formula, but there's already a tested successful precedent of how the music can go. If you look at, and it's just not new. And that's why I say I think we need to also have like a good appreciation of history, and because it saves us a lot. Because it's not new. When every time a Nigerian song or even an African song has been successful internationally, it always carries significant African elements. I think the first time that I would say it's the songs that I think maybe defile that logic to an extent. It's Tyler's Water. This sounds a lot like American pop, although there's the log drops on it that makes it essentially Afrobeats. Then maybe to an extent Whiskey's essence, right? That maybe is not very doesn't sound very African, right? But other than that, if you look at history, from Magic Systems, where Prema Gao, to the Banjis Oliver Twist, to CK's Love Wanting, to Ameno Amapiano, to Fall, to Eve, to Unavailable, to Last, to Peru, down to Calm Down. These are songs that carry significant African elements. These international labels know this. And right now, African music is at a point where it is being accepted. African pop music for what it is, not for how they make it to sound to them, but for what it is, right? Efforts are put into scale it, right, to make it more appealing to international audience. But that sound in its original form is already appealing, right? That's why Calm Down can be successful. It's already appealing. So I don't think the guys at UMG will now start saying, okay, we do not want you, Ira Star, to sing like you normally do, to make music that captures your essence as a Nigerian. We want you to make music that makes you sound a bit like Ariana Grande. I don't think that's going to happen. So that's one of the fears of the people who try to find negatives to this deal, right? That's one of their concerns. But I think it's baseless. It's not going to happen. And they feel like we're going to lose ownership. And so I think that's another that's on that empty talk and everything. Like what does ownership means to start with, right? It means, okay, maybe we own the sound, so quote unquote own the sound, and that like what the spiritual how would I put it, protectors of that sound. I don't know, it's like gatekeepers, but we like Lagos, Nigeria, West Africa is the spiritual home of Afrobeats, right? So if you're not from here, you can possibly not make it the way we can, right? So they feel maybe there's a bit of ownership that's going to get missing, that the industry will lose form and shape. It's going to lose identity, and it's going to become more of a Western affair. And it's like that's essentially what we have now. So let's just a lot of your artists are not signed to Nigerian labels alone. They have this with this international label to help them to scale them. Recently, Joe Bud just signed with Warner, right? So it's always partnering with the right people to scale across the across the ocean, right? It's to scale internationally. So it's not like there's no need for I don't see the negative part to it. The whole losing ownership, losing identity, losing form. It's not the way. I don't see it that way. I mean, who's going to say no to your $100 million? I mean, it's like someone posted something. He said the only people who $100 million is nothing to are corrupt Nigerian politicians, and in the amount of Nigerians who do not have money. Someone who have never seen $100 million. I mean, come on, man. So I just don't see a negative to it. I think it's really, really, really positive, and that's what we're going to say. Like, that's what we should be discussing. Like, what does this mean for the Nigerian music industry?
All right, yeah. So that leads me to my final question.
Yeah.
Like you asked, what does this partnership mean to the Nigerian music industry?
It's I think to an extent some people do not understand what Don Jazzy has done for the Nigerian music industry. I mean, I'm not saying by Don as in him being Don Jazzy, for him being for like that he has existed in our music landscape, and he has made music and he has contributed to our sound. Not that, like, just this deal alone, just that he was able to build a company that someday got acquired by the biggest music label in the world. They don't understand what it means for the Nigerian music industry. It means that people are looking at us. Like, people, I mean, we already know the world is paying attention, right? We've seen our music travel globally. But the world is paying attention to the extent that they want to invest. They want to put capital at a significant scale in the music, because they have a belief and they have faith that this music has not scratched the surface yet. This movement has not scratched the surface yet. This movement can still reach a very, very, like, great height, right? So let's invest early into this business. So when you reach that height, we'll be able to, be among the people that will profit from it the most. This is what it means for us. I mean, this is not the first partnership, right? We've seen Choke City and Warner. We've seen Empire and YBNL. People partner. We've seen Dapper and Virgin Music as well. So Jonesy World, Virgin Music. So it's not particularly new, but nothing at this scale. Nothing at this scale. So what does it mean for Nigerian music? It means that the international community, it means that the West are willing to invest at a significant scale in Nigerian music and to scale it globally. So when UMG comes to inject fund in your business, they take it, like, I mean, they have a majority stake. That means it is their company now. It is their business. They have to make profit of it. That means they are going to have to propel the sound, grow it to an extent where they can make the kind of profit they injected into the music. And that's a good thing for Afrobeat, because now they're particular about the sound. That now it's not about, like, it's not an afterthought. It's not them just like giving you notes and letting you into rooms as tokenism, or just for how will I put it, for equity, to just say, okay, like, let's just get these African guys in this room, so it's going to look like we're doing the right thing, it's going to look equitable. No, now it's their business. Now they are particular about it. Now they are going to expend resources to make sure this sound scales. So that's huge. That alone is huge for Nigerian music, because you are going to profit of it. When Davido and Burna Boy got international deals and they went under international exploration, and took the risks of making music to try to scale globally and internationally, and it didn't really connect, and they came back, they refined it and went again, and Burna Boy came and also, like, really took it to a whole new level. It's opened doors. It opened doors for those behind them. It's not like we had Nigerian artists before, like before 2019, 17, 18, like B-list artists that could comfortably sell out 15, 10K shows in Nigeria, in multiple cities in Nigeria. They were going on tour in America, North America, Europe, but they were not performing in ballrooms. Like, only few people could perform in 2K ballrooms. They perform in clubs. You go to Italy, you perform in a club, like 500 Africans shows up, you perform for them, and you go. That's the kind of tour we're doing. Now we have B-list artists doing proper tour, doing 5K capacity, getting good money for touring. And the reason is because Afrobeat is now huge there. So imagine how big Afrobeat would get if someone like UMG, when someone like UMG is at the forefront of advancing that sound. So you are going, like, the people coming behind, they're going to be able to operate at an industry where the pop sound is now significantly global. Imagine now, like in Nigeria now, you have people who love Asian pop music, South Korean pop music, those
K-pop.
the K-pop, those amazing young guys, those boys that are doing crazy numbers. There are people in Nigeria who love those kids, serious stars. I know a couple of them, love them. Now imagine 5 years, 7 years from now, 10 years from now, we have Nigerian artists who are able to operate in an Afrobeat ecosystem where Nigerian mainstream pop music is loved to that degree in, say, India, in Cambodia, in South Korea, where you have stars of Nigerian artists, in Spain. Imagine what it would mean for those kids coming after them. This is what Don Jazzy has done. He has set that possibility, he has set it in motion. So it's a big deal. It's a big deal. Like it's endless. It's an endless series of opportunities that we just really have to be excited for. So that's what it means. It also means that we will see more of this partnership. People don't want to miss out. That's it. People don't want to miss out. I mean, UMG, the biggest company in the world, comes to partner with the biggest record label in Nigeria. You can expect others to follow suit, right? I mean, we've seen people do this before them, but we're going to see more at a significant scale as well. So that we're going to see more of that, and that's also positive for the Nigerian music industry because there's more funding, there's more opportunities, that's more access, right? And I think bottom line, like essentially, right? I think there's a lesson for everyone from this deal, from this situation. It's a very beautiful event, and there's a lesson for everyone, and it shows that like being dedicated, being resilient, and being passionate about something, and you keep working hard, you are going to do something amazing. I mean, after Moit went defunct, right, in 2011, after Moit went defunct and they went to separate ways, Don Jazzy could have walked away from music. He had the legacy to walk away. His legacy was already intact. Just with Moit alone, his legacy in Nigerian music was already sealed in gold. His name was already up there. Generations will forever remember him for what he has done, just with Moit alone. And I'm sure at that point he had the success. Like he has made enough money to walk away and leave music behind and go do something else. But he chose to say, okay, I still think I still want to do something else, do something with music. I can still go again. It's not easy having a record label like Moit that had hugely successful artists. Then he went defunct and you now start again with a new record label, sign Mavins, then sign a crop of new artists and try to break them. It's not easy, but he did this and he kept doing it. He got he put together an amazing team led by Tega, and see what they've done, man. See what they've done. It's amazing, right? So I think it should inspire everyone in the Nigerian music scene, and I mean we should appreciate history, see where we're coming from. Now we have UMG injecting money into Afrobeats. Before, we don't have this level of funding. Before, there was a time the industry was being funded by Yahoo Boys. Yeah, by fraud money, and it's not particular to Nigerian music alone. There was a time drug money saved the US economy. Yeah, and music money. There's a lot of money in music that even cartels are trying to use it to claim their money. So, but I mean, just look at how far we've come now, right? So that we went from having Yahoo Boy funding industry, and there's not a lot of funds to go around. People were just like scrapping, and just a little like. Only few people could like break through the scene. So now we have like a lot of funding. We have UMG pumping money into the ecosystem, right? So we've come a long way. And so there's a lesson for everyone that you need to keep building, keep working hard, and keep being dedicated to what you do, and you're going to reap the fruits of your labor at some point. So for Don Jazzy, for Mavin, big ups to them. They've done an amazing job. They've done something amazing. They built a wonderful company with wonderful artists who are set to take Afrobeats to other new levels. So for everyone, both for Nigerian music industry, these are exciting times, and I think everyone should be excited and hopeful of what is ahead of Mavin Records and for Afrobeat as a whole. And that's Fact Sunday.